Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw. Today's 10-minute Commander Guide will be about Kemba Caught Enduring. It is a legendary creature from the Phyrexian. All will be one set. And if you love Cat Tribal, this mono white cat is going to be perfect for you. After reading the card, you will see that it is a Voltron Commander. And if you don't know, Voltron Commander is where you have your legendary creature, your commander, and you attach as many as possible strong, powerful artifact equipments to it. And generally, mono white creatures have some kind of payoff or equip less for all those equipments. And Kemba Enduring is the same way. So let's get right into it. But I will give you one caveat. This commander guide will be a little bit different once I read the second ability. All right. So first, let's get into it. All right. When Kemba Enduring or another cat enters the battlefield under your control, attach up to one target equipment you control to that creature. Equip creature you control gets +1/+1. Tap 3 colors, 2 white, create a 2/2 white cat creature token into play. It is a 2/2 creature and it only costs 2 CMC. So what you're going to be doing is casting cats, and whenever you cast a cat, if you have an equipment on the battlefield already, you just attach it. Okay, but with this strategy, you're going to be trying to copy equipment artifacts and equip multiple cats. Because if you ever played a Voltron Commander, you're a sitting duck and an obvious target, and your strategy is well known throughout the tabletop. So this way, you kind of have a second route or a second option to beat up your opponents. So let's get right into the copy equipment artifacts. We have Mirrorworks, Prototype Portal, and Cogwork Assembler. First up is Mirrorworks. 5 CMC ETB trigger, copy artifact. It reads, whenever another non-token artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 2 colorless. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that artifact. So whatever artifact equipment you put into play, even if it costs 0 mana, pay 2, you get a copy of that. So that's 2 equipments that you have on the battlefield. Next up, we have the Prototype Portal. It's 4 CMC, it has the imprint mechanic, and it also copies artifacts. So let's read it. Imprint. When a Prototype Portal enters the battlefield, you may exile an artifact card from your hand. Tap X and tap it. Create a token that's a copy of the exile card. X is the converted mana cost of that card. What I like about Prototype Portal, you're going to get multiple uses out of it, potentially. So, you're going to be able to have 2, 3, 4 of that low CMC artifact or something monstrous onto the battlefield. And you can equip all your cats that you cast to those additional artifact equipments. Next up, we have the Cogwork Assembler. It is 3 CMC. Its ability doesn't cause it to tap, and you have to exile the token at the end step. So I'll go ahead and read it. Tap 7 mana. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact. That token gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. So already you're thinking it's not going to stay on the battlefield. It's kind of pointless to cast something. That's not necessarily true. This gives you the instant speed to create an artifact that can save your creature that's playing defense or it needs the block. And with all those different type of artifact equipments, tapping 7 mana to, attach the Basilic Collar, which has Death Touch and Lifelink, makes it monstrous. Powerful creature. Next up we have is repeating copy artifact. So how can we do this? Is by using flicker effects. And what you're going to be playing is the Flicker and Flicker Wisp. Flicker reads, remove target non-token permanent from the game, then return it to the play under its own control. You're going to pair that with Mirrorworks, because Mirrorworks ETB trigger says whenever an artifact enters the battlefield. So you use Flicker, it triggers the ETB effect for Mirrorworks and pay an additional 2 mana, you got another artifact equipment onto the battlefield. Next up we have Flicker Wisp. It does the same thing, except for it's a creature, and when it enters the battlefield, exile another target permanent, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. So at this time it's a permanent. So we're going to be targeting our artifact equipments, but you can also use it to save, one of your creatures, or just blank it. Next up we have cards that give your equip costs 0. aka free. And these 2 creatures are going to give them instant speed capabilities. The first card we have is Brass Squire. It says tap it. Attach target equipment you control to target creature you control. It's just a low-end 1/3 Murrrr artifact creature. Next up is the ever so popular Auriok Windshaper. It's a flying 2/3 human wizard that says tap it. Attach target equipment you control to target creature you control. So even if you have a creature, say a cat, on the battlefield, and you cast a artifact equipment later on, use one of these two cards abilities to attach an equipment to it at 0 cost. Next up, we have cards that are equipment synergies. They're going to be providing that niche effect that your opponents are not expecting or they never even saw on EDH Rec. Okay, so let's get right into it. The first card is Brass Knuckles. The second card will be Infiltration Lens. And the third card is Icing Death Frost Tyrant. So let me read what the cards actually do. Brass Knuckles is an artifact equipment that says when you cast a spell, copy it. The copy becomes a token. Then it says the equipped creature has double strike as long as 2 or more equipments are attached to it. Equip 1. This is a low-end CMC artifact. Actually, it's for 4, but you get 2. So if you already have 1 equipment attached to it, to one of your cats, and another cat has another equipment to it, you cast this, they both get double strike because they're going to have 2 attached equipments to it. That's a 2-for-1 right there. Great value. Next card up we have is the Infiltration Lens. Infiltration Lens reads, whenever equipped creature becomes blocked by a creature, you may draw 2 cards. Equip 1. You're going to need some kind of card draw. And your cats are going to be pretty powerful. Somebody's going to block. They're not going to keep taking 4 or 5 plus damage during combat. So reward yourself with a couple of draw cards. Next up we have is the Icing Death Frost Tyrant. Here we go. It's from Baldur's Gate. Legendary creature. Dragon. Flying Vigilance. 4/3. It says, when Icing Death Frost Tyrant dies, create Icing Death Frost Tongue, a legendary white equipment artifact token with the equipped creature. It gets +2/+0. Whenever equipped creature attacks, tap target creature defending player controls and equip 2. So what you're going to be doing with this, it is a nice, powerful creature that transforms into equipment, and whenever you have a cat that enters the battlefield, you just attach it. Somebody's going to be blocking your 4/3 flying dragon. It will be a target, but just to get an additional reward for playing a creature that turns into an artifact equipment that synergizes, you're going to be in the pluses here and be a threat. Then it tap down target creature defending player's control. So you're going to be able to swing in confidently, and you compare that whenever you're attacking with your commander. Bam, there you go. Commander damage. Thank you for watching the video. Consider liking and subscribing to stay in touch, or kitty cat touch, with all the equipments and content here on Commander Claw.